What's going on, everybody? This is Troy Rawlings, and this is another exciting. And today, well, first off, let me do this. It's going to be very explicit, very hot, butt naked. If any kids in the room, get them out the room now. Move them away, because they're going to hit words like pussy. Get them out the room. So today it's meet the goddess, the Pwussy Party president, the Pwussy Party podcast producer, the goddess herself. I just like the people going off. The goddess,
hey, I love it.
Goddess Jessi, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I am good. About time you got this sister done been through Los Angeles, Atlanta. She's traveling around the United States. You got any island dates coming up, Jamaica or anywhere?
Actually, I am working on Jamaica in like the first month or two of 2020. So yeah, I receive it. Thanks for calling that out.
Yes, very good. All right, I'm gonna get right to it. If you're on IG, that's where I came across you on Instagram initially, and I saw the Pwussy Party podcast. But it was, I think the first time I saw it was even around election time or somewhere around election time, because you know how you had the red, white, and blue scenario. And I looked, I was like, man, the Pwussy Party, that's pretty deep. This is around the time of the Me Too was just gaining ground. And I was like, okay, I get it. Then I listened to it. I was like, oh, they're going in.
Right.
So this is perfect for a taboo piece. Tell people how you came up with the idea and the gist behind the Pwussy Party podcast.
Well, the Pwussy Party podcast was really spawned from having a conversation with my friends. And I had a group of friends, not just the girlfriends, but I call them my queens, my male friends that may be across the spectrum on sexual orientation. And we were all talking about, the dick that we had got the night before. And I consider myself sexually accomplished. And I was, ranting and raving.
Sexually accomplished?
Yes. And we live to talk about how great dick we got. That is something that women love to do. And my friends are like, oh, the dick I got was trash. And my friend was like, yeah, even the guys I'm messing with, they trash. And I don't know. I just felt really bad that I couldn't have this camaraderie of like, yes, we all got good dick, or we all got good intimacy, or we all got good sex. And so I was like, you know what? I'm about to go on Snapchat, because Snapchat was bigger than it is now before they changed their platform.
Right.
And I was like, I'm about to make a State of the Union address and speak on
State of the Union.
Yes. So, and I was just going in, and if anyone's ever heard the first episode of my podcast, it's called Reclaiming My Pussy Time. And basically it's just introducing the Pwussy Party, that you have certain rights as a pussy and pleasure, and speaking what works, what doesn't, and all these things are definitely a part of it. So I went on a 3 to 5 minute rant about the Pwussy Party mission statement and what, my constituents stood for and what I was going to fight for. And it turned into a thing where, I help women, or really anyone who's in any kind of sexual activity, but I'm a woman, so I focus on women who feel like their sexuality is misunderstood, misrepresented, to feel comfortable to express their sexual needs and wants. And there went the Pwussy Party podcast. And I mean, honestly, it's been a hit since day one. Everyone is feeling the movement.
What's funny? I like the fact that, and I know you experience it a lot of times. Some people get offended because you're saying pussy. Why you gotta use the word pussy? Can't we find another name? Or, but what's funny? I noticed in the month of October, when it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you see tatas, titties, boobs, and it's a push, it's a movement, and people feel more acclimated to it because there's a purpose behind it. I think, well, you explain it. What has been, have you been getting a lot of negative feedback because you use the word pussy?
No. I think if you individually just go to someone who say, hey, you hear the word pussy, what do you think? Would you want to listen to it?
That's when the
And
president says, I'm just grab the pussy.
right. And I say that in the first episode. If you just say, hey, would you listen to a podcast that had the word pussy in it? The only people that may say, men are always like, yeah. It is women who I literally am targeting, the ones who are kind of a little bit more closeted pussies that are like, oh no. But it's just because of shame and guilt that they've been indoctrinated with. But for the most part, everybody is like, heck yeah, like, yeah. They either hear it and think that it's an orgy full of women, or they automatically hear like an organization. And it sounds like a fun organization compared to all the other parties that we have that people feel like are letting them down one way or the other. Most of the time, in the personal experience, pussy hasn't let them down, so they're about the cause.
Right, right. Pussy hasn't let him down. That's the T-shirt. Get that, letting you know.
I
Get that.
have so
Pussy
many.
has never let me down.
Yeah.
I wanna touch on also. You're a very very spiritual person. How do you do the connectivity? A lot of people in different fronts, different religions have an issue with. I've been doing my Taboo Talk tour for 15 plus years, and I've met women on all spiritual spectrums, different religions, what have you. And how do you connect the two without it? Like I said, once again, that guilt thing that it can be pushed on it. You're just speaking up for yourself, and you're speaking to women directly. How do you connect the two, the spirituality and the sexuality?
Right. Well, is this about part of Taboo Tuesday? So I can go as taboo.
You can go. It's Taboo Tuesday. I warn people from the beginning. If you in this far, you done said pussy 12 times.
Right.
You should now.
I'm gonna start doing a counter. But I was never indoctrinated into Christianity.
You said you were never
indoctrinated into Christianity. I was exposed to it. My grandparents were ordained elders in the church and all those things, but I've always been raised to that I didn't need a middleman between me and my God, whatever my God was. And I have found that people who are spiritually open, not necessarily religious, but spiritually open, they're sexually open. The worlds literally overlap more ways than they don't. So it was inevitable for me to cross that over. So in my spiritual practice, when I am doing work to heal myself or to give myself self-care or to manifest things, leaning on sexual energy, whether it's just one-on-one with just me or a partner or what have you, those are some of the strongest and oldest ways known to man to move energy and to make things happen. Even when you do go to the typical religious Christianity, Catholicism, whatever, those really be the biggest freaks if you really want to.
Sadly, yeah. When you have repression, there becomes an abusive oppression. So you got to be careful of that. So I totally agree.
Yeah. So that's it's what's real. Sexuality and sexuality go together. So it's
a part of the whole being, and we can't.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have one without the other.
Right. You can't continue to try to brush part of your humanity under the rug. We have to be open. Now you have a amazing tool ingredient. Is this the one you call the panty dropper, the CBD, the panty drop?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me more about. Some people know about CBD, but they may not know about CBD oil and CBD the way you have used it in your invention.
Right. So I have a topical product. It's called Panty Dropper, like you said. It's a CBD infused clitoris. Well, it's a stimulation serum. I made it for clits because, Pwussy Party president, right? I'm thinking with women in mind. And basically the CBD put into an oil form can have properties like how you would take an Advil. You're going to feel the effects of no longer having a headache, but you're not going to be drowsy or have any euphoric. So that's like what the CBD does in the oil. It's going to, and when I made it for clits, it's going to send the blood to the clit area. So it's going to be more engorged and help increase lubrication, increase arousal, and thus orgasms. But in my studies, I switched it from being a clitoral stimulation serum to just a stimulation serum, because I had clients that were using them on penises. And we all know that, the head of the penis started out as a clit, like
Same
they
plans.
same place. I've had people use it for anal pleasure before and after. So to help it relax, to, be able to do the act, and then even afterwards for aftercare to help with inflammation. So CBD does so many things into your body. It basically balances blood and breath. And when you can balance that, you can do more longer and have like physically, and also not have the inhibitions mentally. So I always talk about these two systems. There's a sexual excitation system, and there's a sexual inhibition system. And basically one is the gas pedal and one is the brake. And CBD, or let me back up. Men usually pump the gas a lot, barely pump the brakes. Women are pumping the brakes a lot, or depending, they may be gassing and braking at the same time. And so what I do with CBD is I balance that out to where you're feel comfortable enough to take your foot off the brake, and you are comfortable and aroused enough to push the gas pedal as much as you want to, so that you can balance blood and breath and have, great orgasms or great sensations anywhere in your erogenous zones. So that was my, invention, I guess. And I'm a herbalist also too by trade in my spiritual practice. So blending together certain herbs that I know do certain things as far as opening up the blood vessels and helping with inflammation and things like that, paired with CBD, it worked. And then, I'm super sensitive. I have sensitive skin and, all that stuff. So I made a all natural vegan product that is edible. So I love it for, foreplay, me getting, oral pleasure or giving it, because I found that it increases salivation in the mouth. So you could get that silky, saliva that usually you got to like halfway be choking to get. So it just went really well. It helped for deep throating and, all these different products that you kind of see out there that like you need a lubrication one. You need a deep throat one. You need something to help with orgasm. You need something that's not going to break you out. Like this kind of covered the whole basis to where really wherever you use it for personal, like masturbation or partner sex, like, I mean, it's a helper. Like, I would always have it kind of in my drawer to like pull out. It's a great little trick to have.
All right, we got to give people the information for that. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you one more thing, and then I'll get all your information, because somebody's like, where do we get it? Where do we get it?
Right.
What's next on your agenda? Where will you be? Where are you traveling to? What's going on? And overall, what do you see happening next for the Pwussy Party president?
Right. So I am teaching workshops and seminars at some of the large adult entertainment conventions in the U.S. So if anyone's ever heard of Exotica, it's a big convention that goes around the country. I'm going to be teaching some seminars on manifesting with sex and sensual domination, because I am a sensual dom too. So that's a whole another story of my sexual and spiritual parts coming together. But I plan to just take this bigger. So we are going to be going international next year, and I am going to be maybe even going to Europe next year and collaborating with people and just doing more workshops, spreading, my truth, my pussy truth. And then on top of that, I'm probably going to be creating some courses with my tantric practice, because I am a tantric practitioner, to teach people how to do it. And so that'll be coming up, and just providing the services. Most of my clients like what's called a goddess and a god, or god bath. Those are like the favorite things that my clients get. And it is a mix of spirituality and tantra to revitalize you and make you feel like a god or a goddess. So that's what's in front of me, amongst some other things. But we don't have to.
feel like it's supposed to be like it should be smoking incense going on right now. All right, how can people get in touch with you, Goddess Jessi? How can they hit you up and follow you the whole nine?
Right. So if you want to get some panty dropper, go to www.pantydropperoil.com. You can buy the product there. You can purchase any of my services as far as tantric services. You can even purchase a tarot reading because I'm a tarot reader as well on there. You can talk to me if you want to like holler at me. Come to Instagram at Pwussy Party Podcast, and you got to spell it a certain way because pussy is a word that's censored across social media. Go figure.
How do you spell pussy?
Huh?
That's a good thing. How do you spell pussy?
Yeah, so it's like Pwussy Party Podcast. So Pwussy Party Podcast. Like how Fly says sweet pussy Saturday. Like that. So that's where you could go and like see all my craziness on a day-to-day. Like I just came from a tantric festival in Atlanta and I was sharing what I was experiencing, everything from anal pleasure classes to masturbation, meditation, all kind of, sacred dance. And you get to
probably getting hit up by some woman sitting here drinking her tea and said, masturbation meditation.
Right.
Some woman in man right now is probably like masturbation and meditation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then my podcast website is just www.thepwussypartypodcast.com.
That's spelled the regular way or the PW?
That's the regular way because the domains allow you to have pussy, but not social media. We can have a whole nother conversation on female sexual terms that are censored across platforms. Most sexual things are censored, but you'll find that it's more the female things. Like you could have dick and penis.
I think it was until Oprah said it on her show. I think females couldn't say vagina on TV.
Well, thank God for Oprah, my Aquarius sister, for blazing the trail. One day I'm gonna be sitting down with her talking about it. How I got
soon. I'm sure soon. I know Oprah got a whole nother
petition to get that taken off of the no list.
Yes. Well, thank you, Goddess Jessi. I know you got a boogie, and this has been I knew it was going to be more of an extensive, double the time of most of my meetas, but it's worth it because you got a lot of information, and you have to get in touch with Goddess Jessi. If you're interested in any of the things she talked about, and just sitting down and talking with somebody that will help you open up more about your sensuality and your sexuality, hit up Goddess Jessi. Don't forget at Pwussy Party Podcast, PWUSSPARTYPODCAST on Instagram, thepwussypartypodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
And hit her up. Thanks, Goddess.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.